determined, and we're going to get this finished. Murph, we're going to try it once more. Hopefully he's going to check in now. And yeah, we've had a nightmare tonight there. Fuck it anyway, because he's really good, Murph. But we're going to try and finish it off, people. So we're very determined. And yeah, we'll try and get it. Yeah, I will, Andrew. I will upload the other ones, but the ones from the last 2 weeks I'm going to release in a couple of weeks. Lisa, fair play to you, sticking in, Lisa. Just waiting for Murph. We'll give it one more shot. Murph.
Some disaster.
Nightmare. You'd want to get on to them politicians in Waterford and sort out the Wi-Fi.
Are you in Sligo or are you in Dublin?
Dublin, Shrine Brand in Dublin. Lisa saying pay your bill. It's Waterford, Lisa, not me.
I must have a word with Tree tomorrow when I speak to them if we get through to anyone. But sure, look, we'll keep going if we can.
Yeah, it's the Waterford Wi-Fi. Tooler, look, you're right. Tooler saying it's the Waterford Wi-Fi.
There must be a townie or something. It's not me. I'm out. I'm out in the country, so it's probably worse.
So to move back then, Murph, back to Cardiff, yeah, how does that come about?
Yeah, look, I played some games under Cookie, Cookie, it was, and I played 20 odd games or something, but I had a lot of injuries that year, and it was difficult enough. Kind of, Eamon was Cookie's agent as well, so it kind of came about that way, and it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't. It was kind of, I joined the day before the start of the season and stuff like that, so. I didn't have a pre-season and have behind me, and I was doing my own running and stuff in the off season. I was waiting for the right move to come up, and Portsmouth's a big club, don't get me wrong, but they were in League Two, and it just didn't. It started all right for me, and then I got injured. I think injured my groin. I tore my groin. I was out for a couple of weeks. I came back. I tore my calf. Got back, played a few more games and stuff like that. So it was just a difficult year, and we just missed out on the playoff final. Got beaten in the semi-finals, and Cookie said, I had a up and down probably time there, and it wasn't the best I was at. But I think I put that down to just a lot of injuries that year, and I think again I just said to him, I don't think I want to stay at this level. I'd rather go back home to Ireland and play if there was nothing higher up for me. I just didn't want to be going around the lower leagues at the age I was and trying to force a career if the right one wasn't there, and there's another part why I probably didn't play the amount of games maybe I should have over the years, because the clubs I was at and the calibre goalkeeper was there, but I wanted to be at them clubs. I realised it's a short enough career and a short enough chance maybe to earn a decent living out of it, and if I dropped down to League One or League Two, I probably wouldn't have got the same rewards as maybe in the Championship or being involved in the Premier League. And people can kind of throw their nose up at that a little bit, but I have a long life after football as well. And I had to look at it that way. If I forced a loan move from someone and a manager at a Championship or Premier League club didn't, when you're outside, you're out of mind, so to speak. But I always tried to stay there as I could. At QPR, I did the most I could do. I couldn't do any more in training. I couldn't do any more. I was not going to play regularly unless there was an injury. So I played some games. Went home for the summer after Portsmouth. Was humming and hawing what to do. I just wasn't enjoying it or whatever. And then kind of got myself together in the summer. Had a decent summer off. Took a good break from it and got back training. Then and started enjoying it again. And then it was a transfer deadline. And Warnock was a manager at Cardiff at the time, so it wasn't that link as you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
But the goalkeeping coach was recommended me again. They were looking for a cover and said, Racy rang up and said, would you be interested in the move? And I was like, Championship, and I looked at the goalkeepers there. They just sold Marshall to Hull, who's a very Scottish international goalkeeper and stuff, and they sold another lad to Sheffield United. So they were short on goalkeepers. So I looked at them and, geez, I could get in there, and if I can get my form right, I'll play.
Yeah.
So I went in anyway, and I wasn't involved probably they looked at me as cover. It wasn't what I thought it'd be at the start, but I was happy enough. I still felt there was an opportunity that I'd play there. And then obviously the managers changed. The team got off to a bad start in the season, and Warnock came in, and obviously I had him at QPR before, so I was thinking if there's ever a chance to play now, he might have a look at me, because I know he doesn't fancy he wouldn't fancy the goalkeepers, so to speak, because they're not his goalkeepers. That's why he brought Paddy Kenny everywhere with him. I was half expecting Paddy retired, but I was half expecting Paddy to come through the door and play. But so like it went a few weeks and he stuck with it, and the team are still losing by sloppy goals or whatever. And it was a really good dressing room there, and they got a bit of a lift off him coming in. He does that to teams like it's unbelievable what he does for players. Like he can, you know, when you're in his 11 or 12, 13 players on a match day, like he's your best friend. Like he makes you feel top of the world. Like so the team are still kind of struggling, and he decided, like, I just dislocated my finger. And it was about October time, I think, end of October. Maybe I said, "Dislocate my finger." I hadn't trained for 3 or 4 days. He calls me in the office, like, "I'm going to play you Saturday." And I went, "Gaffer, I've dislocated my finger. Like, I can't even train." Like, he goes, "Geez, I didn't know that, son. Like, you know, can you not play?" Like, and I was like, "No." Like, and obviously, like, every time I can't do it because every time a ball hits it, like, I don't have the power there. It feels awkward and stuff. So he was like, "Right." So I was like, oh, maybe that's my chance gone now. Like, you know. So a couple of weeks went by. Finger improved, got back training, trained well, and he played me. He eventually got me back in and played against Brentford. And just before the Brentford game, he goes, "I'm going to play you now." I said, "Look, I'm going to change it. I've kind of mentioned it in the press that I'm thinking of changing and maybe playing you and stuff like." And the fans are probably questioning, like, "Who's this Murphy coming in? They're not seeing me play." It was 2.5 months into the season. He goes, "So look, if you have a bad game, they'll all think you're crap anyway. So you can go back on the bench, or you can go sit in the stand." Like I said, it's a win-win. It's a win-win for me. Like, you know, so I was like, but it's funny. Like, I walked out of the meeting, like, thinking, going, like I'm going to walk through a brick wall for him for this. Okay. Like, and it was just weird. Like, he basically gave me an insult, but I felt brilliant about it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of
well,
weird.
I've heard he's a really likable character, Murph, from people that who've worked with him and dealt with him and all. You know, like he hated him the day he walked in, but by the time he was finished with him, he says he absolutely loves him.
Who was that, Al?
Clinton Morrison had worked with him before, and he said the day he walked into the club, he hated him, but by the time he had left, he said he absolutely loved him. Yeah,
like, he has this way about players. I said, if you're worth anything to him in the dressing room or on the pitch, like you could train unbelievably bad Monday to Friday, and if you played the weekend, he'd know he'd play you. He was very superstitious in what he did. He could pick a team on a Friday, and he'd go home, and Sharon, his wife, would be there and be like, "Oh no, I had a dream last night about such and so playing," or whatever, and he'd come in the next day on a Saturday going, "You're playing. Sharon had a dream that you're going to score," and he changed it. That's the character he is. Like, he was very much off the cuff. On the training pitch, like, he wasn't the best in terms of getting Monday to Friday training. That's why I think he suited the championship, because the games come thick and fast, Saturday, Tuesday. But like, he played, as I said, he played me at Brentford. I went out and I, like, literally as a debut could go, like, couldn't go better for me. Like, I played unbelievably well. I think we drew 2-2, but like I came out with a lot of credit in the game. And the next few games after I think I played 7 or 8 games. FA Cup was in the middle of it, and I remember he pulled me in the office and he goes, I think Ben Amos was the goalkeeper that played before me, and he just pulled me and going, I have to get rid of him. I can't get rid of him. I need to bring in another goalkeeper with you. Like, he said, I don't know what I'm looking for, but obviously you're going to play for the time being, you know. But if I bring someone in to play, I don't want you being upset about it. And I was like, yeah, but I'm playing really well, Gaffer. Like, and he goes, I understand that, but because he was so superstitious, he didn't even want the lad around the dressing room, like, you know. And he gave him like a couple of weeks off around Christmas just so he didn't have to come in and train, like, you know. But because it was bad luck, like, and that was unfortunate for him, like. But it was good for me at the time because I was playing quite well and stuff. But I always knew in the back of my head someone would come in, like, didn't know what type of goalkeeper, and he brought in who did he bring in? Mine's gone blank now. Scottish international. Al, I can think of his first name now. I'll come back to me in a second. Alan McGregor, sorry.
McGregor, yeah.
Shared a room, so I should remember his name. He brought him in, like, and he played him, and I was like going, like, and I think we'd, out of the 7 or 8 games we played, I think we were only beaten once in the games, like, so, you know, I was playing quite well and stuff, and that was disappointing, you know, because it was kind of a kick in the teeth when you felt like you were doing quite well and you were doing well for the team. You kind of got left out, like, you know. So But you take it and like, you get on with it and stuff. And to be honest with you, I thought like, look, it's better just to get the head down and keep working, because if you fall out with Warnock, you fall out with Warnock. Like that's you done with him.
There's
like,
no.
you know. No, so I played a few games in between that and the end of the season, and the team ended up doing quite well toward the end of the season. And I played a few games. They offered me a new contract. In fairness, he pushed it with the club to get me a new contract, and he was like, "Look, I'm happy what you hear. I'm happy what you bring, whatever." And he got his team together for the following season, and we just literally hit the ground running. Generally, like probably like I think the Bows dressing room was good, but in terms of on like an all-round dressing room, that Cardiff dressing room for the 4 years that I was there, like, was unbelievable. Like some brilliant lads, and no matter how good or bad you played, the lads would always have your back, like, and they'd always look after each other. And there's a lot of good groups of friends. I know the dynamics of the group has changed over the last few years, but that season we got promoted. Like, I think we won 6 or 7 out of the first 8 games or something. Like, it was an incredible run. Like, and they just took it on to the end of the season. The boys were unreal that year, and like the gaffer he just kept them going. Like, and he just has that he was 68, 69 at the time. Like, the energy,
Enthusiasm.
The energy he brings, like, is incredible, really. But and then obviously the Premier League season, it doesn't suit him for whatever reason. The Premier League doesn't suit him. I don't think he likes the.
Would he be the type, Murph, though? Would he admit that himself now, looking back, or is he still kind of bullheaded in thinking it was them rather than me?
I think he's openly admitted he doesn't enjoy the Premier League games. I think he's openly admitted that. Like, I just don't think he likes the gap between the games. It's generally one game a week, whereas like the Premier League or the Championship and lower is all. And there's no coincidence he's done so well in them divisions, like the amount of promotions he's had or whatever, like 7 or 8 promotions, incredible record. Like, but I just think like the Premier League has moved on so much in terms of the way teams play. Like, we were still playing long ball. We were unlucky probably to get relegated. I think we missed out by about 2 or 3 points in the end, but it was games that we left behind. But overall, we probably didn't transition the right way into the Premier League. The Premier League is, you see lads see it every week. Like, it's a different level, and to compete and to actually stay at that level as a club is so tough. It's getting tougher for teams coming up now. Like, I know Sheffield United have done brilliantly this year, but overall it's quite tough. You're scrapping for points, and you could be getting beat 3 or 4 some weeks, and you're trying to find your confidence. And I don't think he enjoyed that. He enjoyed winning teams. He enjoyed being around winning teams. And then obviously he ended up leaving this year. It's midway through the season. So
on that, Murph, then, so that finishes up. Was it always the plan to come home, or how did the Waterford move come about? I know we kind of touched on that at the start, and you're glad you're home now with everything that's kind of happening at the moment. But was it always your plan eventually to come home one day?
Yeah, no, it was. The last couple of years, we had a good chat with Yvonne, my wife, there in the last summer, like, and we just said, like if once I'm at this level, like, we'll look to stay over here, like, and we'll see how it goes. And obviously, like, she's pregnant, she's due in June as well. So thank you. So that was a big kind of decision as well. Like, do I want to move around to a club every year? Like I'm 36 now, like, so the last couple of years, you're not going to get a 2 or 3 year contract anywhere. It's going to be 6 months, or you're going to get a year somewhere. Do I want to be moving house every couple of months? Do I want to be traveling all over the country with a young family at home and stuff? Like, and it was kind of on the back of my mind for a while that maybe it's the right time to go home while I can still play. Like, it was always an idea to come back and play. I didn't know how long it would be, if it was a season, if it was going to become like, but I'm feeling really good. I think I've started quite well in the games. Unfortunately, now everything's been put on hold. We don't know when we'll be back, to be honest. Like, depending on how this virus goes over the next number of weeks, because it's going to be hard to get crowds back in stadiums. Well, it's going to be, if the Premier League can't do it, I don't know how we're going to cope with it and how clubs will manage going forward. I don't know, like, but it's just that it was the right time anyway for me to come back and to kind of transition out of the game, to give me a chance to transition out of the game rather than just giving up in the UK, because always the plan was to move home anyway, but it was whether to finish over there and then just move home. But I just felt it'd be better to play a couple of seasons. I've had a great run in the UK, and I'll be forever thankful the clubs and whatever I was at, and the enjoyment I got out of it, and the hard work I put into to stay at that level for so long. I think, you know, that's something I'll always take away with it. I mightn't have the games, but I'll have the memories of being part of them clubs. Like, but it'll give me a chance now to play for a couple of seasons. You know, whether it'll be with Waterford for the next couple of years, I don't know. I am here at the moment. You know, you never know what comes about. But it was more just to kind of see the other side of life as well, and be able to figure out going forward like that, the stepping stone out of the game, and make the transition that little bit easier.
Okay, well, Murph, I know we had our problems tonight with the old Wi-Fi, but I've been friends with you a long time and a big admirer, as I said to you already. Unbelievable goalkeeper, and you're a massive addition back to the league as well. So I appreciate your time tonight, pal. I wish you well for the rest of the season. I also wish you well with the new arrival. And the next time we chat, we won't have any Wi-Fi issues, let me tell you that. But mind yourself, okay?
Hopefully face-to-face the next time anyway, so we'll be all right.
Exactly. But look after yourself, and I'll see you soon, okay?
You too, Al. Stay safe, mate.